Hey y'all, what's good? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh man, I'm still battling this cough with this throat and this nasal stuff, but we are going to keep pushing, okay? Because that's what I do. I want to thank the 514 subscribers that we currently have. Thank you so much, guys, from the bottom of my heart. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Um, I've spent the last 10 minutes trying to decide if I want to talk about something that I just saw on YouTube. Um, I was scrolling on YouTube for a little bit, just trying to get some things in order for this video, and replying back to some comments and just little things like that. And I saw a video that Erica uploaded, Erica Patterson, on her YouTube channel. Uh I'm gonna play it, and then I'm going to talk about it briefly. So give me a second.
So, hey, you guys. I just woke up from a nap. I go on YouTube. I have a whole bunch of notifications. There's a lot of people talking shit about me. It's really upsetting me. I feel like deactivating my YouTube and just end all this. And I'm getting in my depression stage because people are talking shit about she don't have her kids and everything else, and people don't know what the fuck I'm even going through. People don't even ask me what I'm going through. A lot of you guys, 90% of you guys, have my back, but then there's the people talking negative stuff, and I don't want to go. I'm not a negative person, so I don't want to sit here and cuss them out or anything like that. But it's making me more and more in my feelings, depressed and stuff. I just woke up. I'm waking up to stuff. Uh, I think it was my last video I just posted. There's people. You don't have to find the comments. It's like people in the comments, on top of the comments, like the replies and stuff. People are talking really bad about me and my kids. And one thing I don't play about is my kids. Yes, y'all don't know what I've been going through. Y'all don't know anything. I try, you know, I love the ones that support me. I love y'all to death. But there's a lot of people that's talking a lot of mess right now, and it's really upsetting me. So just updating you on that because I just woke up to this. I love you guys, the ones that support me, not the ones that support Darrell. Anyways, thank you. Bye.
I want to say this in a nice way. Y'all know how I feel about Erica already. So it's not me shading her at all. Okay. Erica has a right to be happy, and she has a right to have access to social media where she can share how she's feeling, information about her life, or whatever she chooses to share. But Erica, I need you to understand something. You don't owe us anything, okay? It is not your obligation nor your responsibility to update us on your life, your personal life, to update us on anything regarding this trial, past and upcoming, okay? Um there are a lot of vultures, especially on YouTube. Okay, you got a lot of people who are nosy and they don't have your best interests at heart. And I am not going to go into names. That is not what I'm going to do. But there are lots of channels, okay, who need and rely on information, good or bad, to get numbers. Okay. And sometimes you got people who don't agree with or side with any side of the narrative, but a lot of times they pick the wrong side and they have to have somebody to blame. That's the best way I can try to explain it to you without trying to sound harsh because I'm not fussing at you, but I just need you to understand. Erica, everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart. That is just the reality of it. And I know you're sensitive. I know you've gone through a lot, years of it. Okay. I get that. I really do. But if I were you, I would just try not to overshare because people take that as a sign of weakness and they try to use it against you. I would not update anybody about what your mental health status is. I would not share anything about your children. I think that it is remarkable that you are in the process of reconciling with your children, okay? But that's it. We don't need to know anything else about that relationship, okay? Nobody is perfect. And unfortunately, like I said, we got a lot of people where they feel it's easier to blame and point the finger at someone else that they think is doing worse off than what they are. So it paints them in a positive light and they can come down on you. Um, so you have to make that choice for yourself. You can't allow anybody else to come into your personal space and dictate how you feel, okay, what your mood is going to be, what mental state you're going to be in because of what they say. So it's just me, the mother in me, I guess. I would just stop oversharing and, come on here periodically. And just if you want to update somebody, hey, I'm doing good. I'm still working. All is well. The personal stuff is a way for people to take digs at you. And it's just the reality of it. It's the learning process. And you just have to guard yourself better, and I know you're really learning how to do that or whatever, but again, I just wouldn't let anybody into my personal space, especially when, you're still healing from a lot. And so I'm just going to end that there. I do wish you the best. I really do. I'm proud of you. Um I think you're making good strides in life, but you have to really sit down with yourself and just figure out where to draw the line because you don't owe us anything, okay? All right. With that being said, and I know this is probably going to be crazy because I know y'all going to be like, how you going to talk to her? And then you getting ready to talk about uh this case. I'm sorry, I wasn't planning on seeing this video with Erica, but I believe that my channel, I have some positive subscribers that wish her well. And so I'm sharing information in hopes that you can go over to her channel and, show her some love and let her know that there are a group of people that rally around her and want her to do well. We just don't want you to put yourself in a position where people can keep pouncing on you and taking from you. We don't want that. So, but we're gonna talk about Darrell, guys. So Erica, if you're watching this video, stop watching right now because I'm getting ready to talk about Darrell, and not at all in a way to hurt you. Okay, we're just going through this trial as a learning experience. So it's nothing toward you, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings in any way. It's a continuation of what we've been talking about, the people on my channel. So click off of this video or whatever. I don't want you watching anything beyond this point. If you do, it is your choice, but I'm not asking you to, okay? So we're going to navigate, guys, to part 2 of this direct examination of Mr. Brooks here. And let's just see what he's talking about. Okay.
I will be advising the clerk to have the jurors brought out. And then I'll ask you, sir, to call the defense next witness.
Can we address subject matter jurisdiction and still has to be proven for the record?
I decline to do so. Your objection is noted for
Is
the
the
record.
audio on?
Your objection is noted for the record.
Is the audio on?
Yes, it's on, sir. It's on.
So we're not going to address subject matter jurisdiction that has yet to be proven for the record.
For the record, I have addressed it,
No, you haven't
and
proven it
there's
for
a
the
written,
record.
and your objection's noted for the
Have you
record.
proven subject matter jurisdiction for the record? Have you proven it? Has the prosecution proven it?
Oh, okay. Email that to her and print it out.
So that's a judicial determination that you don't have to answer that, Your Honor, being a public servant?
I was talking to my clerk. I didn't hear what you asked. The jury's coming in.
You heard what I asked.
I actually did not.
Come on, Your Honor. Come on now. Come on now. We got to cut that out. You know you have to prove subject matter jurisdiction. You know that. You have to honor your oath of office. You know that.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. The defense may call its next witness, please.
Give 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I got the paperwork since I'm being rushed to judgment. That's not right. Oh, there you go.
The shuffling of the papers is just an intimidation tactic. I'm sure you guys have already figured that out by now. This is his way of showing that I am in control. You guys are going to wait on me. I'm going to make Erica wait on me because I am in control of this whole situation. Okay, it's just an intimidation tactic by him.
All right.
Go ahead.
Defense calls Erika Patterson.
And thank you. We'll have her brought in.
Since I'm being rushed to judgment.
Good morning, Ms. Patterson. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is on my right. You may recall it's up a riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my colleague Teresa, who's across from you and on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Thank you. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to
So, what I want to point out right away, if you remember her first time on the stand, she was really nervous. She had a lot of anxiety. I pointed out her breathing pattern and all of that. If you look at her now, she's walked in with such confidence to face him because she knows she's safe. Okay. Um, She's going to confidently answer all of his questions. She's very patient with him. And this is what is going to really piss him off. Okay. Um, yeah, I commend you, Erica, for this. You're very strong, very confident, ready to face him head on. Um, and so let's keep watching.
To state your first and last names for the record.
Erika Patterson.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Oh, the one spelling the name?
I believe it's on the record from previously, but go ahead. You can spell your first and last names, please.
ErikaPatterson.
Just 1 second, Your Honor. I'm trying to find some.
Now we know he's never ever had a hard time before finding any type of paperwork. All of his paperwork has always been in some type of folder and alphabetically in those banker's boxes. This is just an intimidation tactic, okay? He wants her to understand that I am in control over you. It is a power and dominance attitude that he has over her, okay? By making her wait, and she doesn't have a choice but to wait because she has to answer his questions. She has to wait on him. Okay, it's not like she can just get up and go or whatever, and he knows that, and so he's just playing in everybody's faces right now.
Relevant paperwork here. One second.
All of the paperwork that he has, from my recollection, is just the police report from Detective Booth. That is the only paperwork that he would have, a statement, and he's shuffling his papers all throughout this desk.
I'm sorry about that. 1 second. I'm trying to find this paperwork.
Now, let's not forget that in the morning, this day in particular, the morning of this, I can't even talk today. I'm sorry, in the morning of this particular day, he spent so much time arguing with her about the order in which his witnesses would be called, in which they did not have any type of control. He was in control of who he wanted to call. They had no issue with that. They just needed times, okay? And he spent so much time throwing a fit about who would be called when and what order. And so that could have been viable time to get his paperwork in order, right? Right?
Work. Just had it on the table.
When you're ready.
Bet you he know where them pictures at though.
Did you print that off for me? Did you email it? Did you stop?
I'm just gonna start the questioning. I'm not seeming to find paperwork that I just had on the table
Hmm.
for some reason, odd reason.
He's looked through each folder about 3 times for statement.
Good morning, Miss Patterson.
Good morning.
So, what do you do for a living?
I have my CNA certificate.
I'm gonna direct your attention to the evening of November 21st, 2021. Do you recall what you were doing that evening?
I was hanging out with my friend Corey at Frame Park. I had spoken to you, Mr. Darrell Brooks. You came out there at Frame Park and met me after Miss Corey separated from me with her friend. Me and you got into an argument.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Pursuant to the question.
I am answering your question.
Pursuant to the question. Oh, Zarel is trying to show out, y'all. Where did he learn that language, that verbiage? Pursuant to the question. Is he trying to showboat for Erica?
I was referring to the judge.
I was hanging out
I
with
think
Miss
that kind of
Corey.
got a little ahead of.
Oh, Mr. Brooks, just I'll let you.
It got a little ahead because you don't know how to ask questions. You asked her, what was she doing? She met up with you and y'all got to fighting.
To interrupt the answer and you can ask a follow-up. I apologize. I was instructing the clerk to turn up the volume. So go ahead, ask your question.
Same question.
Sure.
What were you doing the evening of November 21st, 2021, before linking up with the alleged defendant?
Hanging with my roommate at the time at Frame Park.
And what were you and your roommate doing?
I'll object. We covered this ground during her testimony previously.
Objection and grounds. I object to that and grounds for the objection on behalf of the state.
Let's take a minute to observe his behavior, shall we? He is standing up as tall as he can, hands behind his back to assert dominance and confidence. Okay. He's so confident that he objects an objection instead of his normal grounds. Okay. This is nothing but a way, again, to intimidate Erica by saying, I am confident and able, okay, to tear down whatever testimony that you think you're going to provide today. Okay.
Mr. Brooks, we did cover many of these topics previously. So if there's new topics, please go to those. I'll give you a little bit of leeway to lay some foundation, but go ahead, ask your question.
That's
The
what the
objection is from the state is overruled. Do you remember the question?
No.
You asked me what was I doing at the park with Corey? Is that your question?
yes.
We were drinking. I was drinking Mike's Heart.
So he wants to keep harping on this Mike's Hard Lemonade, which is I won't even get a fruit fly drunk. Okay. This is his way to treat her as if she's on trial because you have to remember, which we all, I'm sure, already know, he blames her. His whole defense is, okay, had she not upset me, I would not have lost control of my thoughts, my feelings, my behavior, my impulsivity. She wasn't drunk. That's been well established. But he of course, not being an attorney, does not know how to articulate his questions and his thoughts. And so he is treating her as if she's the one on trial. Okay.
Beverage.
Do you recall around what time of the evening it was when you and your roommate arrived at the park?
I do not remember. We left where we were staying a little around afternoon, a little bit around afternoon.
Do you recall having any phone interactions during that time when you and your roommate were at the park?
Phone interaction, yes.
Do you recall who they were with?
You.
What do you mean by you?
Darrell Brooks.
Is that usually the name you refer to the alleged defendant by?
Nope.
Would it be fair to say that during those phone interactions, um, there was talk of you guys meeting up? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recall, to the best of your recollection, what time that would have been at?
No, I don't remember. It was throughout the day.
I'm sorry, are you making references to the phone conversations being throughout the day?
Yes.
And so at some point, would it be fair to say that you did meet up with the alleged defendant?
Yes.
Do you recall what time that was?
No.
I just told you no.
So he's trying to rattle her. It's not working. It's not working at all. I'm so proud of her for being strong. Um, she doesn't agree, like all of us, with the idea of him questioning her. But for me, it shows that she's strong enough to face him, okay? And he has to deal with it. It's starting to upset him that, you know, even though he's asking her the same questions over and over, she's giving him the same answers with a straight face. She's serious and she's showing that she's in control. Okay. You are not going to instill the spirit of fear in her like you did the first time.
Do you recall if you were still at the park during that time or had you moved locations?
Still at the park.
And was your roommate still present with you at that time?
No, she left. We went separate ways. I stayed at the park and she went her other way with her friend,
Do you recall who that friend was?
Nick.
What paper is he reading off of? Because he spent 5 hours trying to find this particular paper that he wanted to use as an outline, I guess, to question her. So I'm assuming he found it now, y'all.
I'm assuming, or let me back that up. Um, would it be fair to say that at some point during the meetup with the alleged defendant, things got a little chaotic? That'd be fair to say?
Yes.
And do you recall if at that point you were still at the park?
When we met up,
Yes.
well, we were at the park for a second, then we drove around.
Where did you drive to?
Around, then me and you, Mr. Brooks, were arguing in the car. We went up this it's a street, it's like a hill. Went up there, and then me and you got into an altercation. I got out of the car, walked back towards Frame Park.
Well, wait, again.
Hold on, she's answering your
She's
question.
answering the
Um,
Ask
question.
her where you drove from. Go ahead,
What?
finish.
Yes, ma'am. And then I was walking down the street when I left your car. And that's when you followed me, and I walked back towards Frame Park. And you were following me.
Made reference to walk back to Frame Park.
I don't know the exact street name. It was I walked back down the hill. I don't know the exact street name.
Did you at any time, sorry, did you at any time during your travels back to Frame Park, did you at any time notice that there was something going on in the area?
No. When I got to Frame, I was too worried about walking back to Frame Park. When I got to Frame Park after I left it, that's when I realized there's something going on.
And did you ever arrive back at Frame Park?
Yes.
And what did you do when you arrived back at Frame Park?
I called my friend Corey and told her that me and Mr. Brooks got into an altercation. Mr. Brooks was following me. I went back to the SUV, the car, and you argued with me some more. I walked back across the street, and by that time, Miss Corey had walked towards us to meet up with me.
And you made reference to you calling your friends.
Mhm.
Do you recall? Well, let me back up a little bit. Did you call your friend Corey or the friend that she had left you to hang out with?
Corey's phone, I kept calling her phone. Her phone kept going to voicemail, so then I called Nick's phone. He put Corey on the phone. I said, Darrell Brooks had just hit me.
I'm going to back up a little bit, if I may, to the day prior, November 20th of 2021. Do you recall what you were doing that day?
Well, where I was staying at the shelter at first, I was arguing still with Mr. Brooks all throughout the day. Me and Corey had left, and Corey and I stepped away, and I went back to Frame Park. Frame Park is where I met you at. Me and you also got into argument that day, but we didn't drive around. We're at the Frame Park.
So you're saying that you and the alleged defendant were together the day of November 20th, 2021?
Yes.
Do you recall around what time that was?
I do not remember.
And you stated you were briefly with your friend Corey that day?
Yeah, but she went a whole different direction. She didn't come to Frame Park with me. She turned on a whole different street right before Frame Park.
Do you recall at any time on November 21st of 2021 being interviewed by a Detective Guth?
Yep.
And do you recall giving a recorded report at that time?
I don't remember.
Do you recall if you had given Detective Goof all the details of the alleged incident on November 20th of 2021?
I didn't give him all the details, but I did the next day when I seen him.
Funny. Were you aware that it was reported there was in fact no incident on November 20th, 2021?
That's not true.
Objection, move to strike the answer and the question.
Grounds.
Lack of personal knowledge, hearsay.
Sustained. I'll strike the question and the answer. The reason stated, sir, rephrase, or
So can I show the witness the same paperwork that I intended to show?
no.
And why not?
Not relevant.
How's it not relevant when that was just testified to? Wouldn't that be opening the door?
No. Next question.
Any reason why it would be reported no incident happened on November 20th of 2021?
Same objection.
Grounds.
Since that's not in evidence, sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
The record speaks for itself.
So upon speaking to Detective Goof during the first interview, do you recall why you were not forthright with information?
It wasn't that I was not forthright. I just didn't tell him everything right away.
Why not?
I don't know, Mr. Brooks.
When speaking with a law enforcement officer, would it be fair to say that you should be truthful and honest?
I was very truthful. I just didn't tell him everything at once. Till the next day.
The nerve. The nerve. I'm wondering what's taking Judge Doro so long to bless us with her Illinois v. Allen 90611 and cut this direct examination. He has not offered into evidence anything new. We've already gone over this narrative, okay? He basically is just trying to find loopholes in the story. He has the statement, the report from Detective Guth, in fact, both of them, the audio and the written. And he is trying to see if Erica's story lines up with it, which in most cases, a witness can forget information that they provided at the time of a crime or at the time of being a victim to a crime. And so we're not getting anywhere. And I'm growing frustrated because the person who oversees everything is not stepping in to do anything for the person who is a victim. Um, we need to speed it up here. Okay, because y'all know I'm not the one to just be sitting here doing all of this listening. I need to get to the facts. Okay. And basically, he is just having his way with her, and I'm not feeling it.
Okay, Mr. Brooks.
And in the alleged incident on November 20th of 2021, were you injured?
No. Well, you did hit me a little, both like a little.
Were you injured?
No, I didn't have any marks on me. Is that what you're asking?
So where were you injured?
By my lip?
Objection.
And in the alleged incident on November 20th of 2021, were you injured?
No. Well, you did hit me a little, both like a little.
Were you injured?
No, I didn't have any marks on me. Is that what you're asking?
So where were you injured?
By my lip?
Objection. This states the evidence.
Grounds.
Um, I believe the witness understood the question. She answered it. It may stand.
No, Judge Doro. See, this is where I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting annoyed because she's been very consistent with her answers. Okay. Very confident. He knows what to say to her to start to get under her skin. Which child sees this? He's trying to go to bat for her. And Judge Doro is waiting until it's too late for me, in my opinion. Now, it is to my understanding that they threw that charge out. So why are we talking about it?
Did your roommate observe any injuries from?
Also, I want to point out somebody had made a very valid point in my comments and said that had Corey and Nick not been there on the 21st, Erica probably would not have been here with us. And I believe that to be true. And that is why he keeps circling the block on Corey and Nick, because he didn't realize that there were cameras in front of that school when he was fighting with Erica. Okay. And the fact that she had two people who were willing to protect her by all costs and even call the police. She's never had anybody to do that for her before. It would be the two of them. He would abuse her. And from my understanding, until this last time when he was arrested for it, she didn't say anything. Okay. This time, you got a lot of witnesses out here seeing what's going on. You got video surveillance, and you have two individuals that he doesn't know, one of them being a man that is stepping up and helping to protect her and call the police. This has pissed him off. Okay. Everybody's story, as far as Erica, Corey, and Nick, have been consistent. And he is pissed that he can't get one of them to break or even turn on Erica to make her look like she is not a victim and she is the cause of all this. And Judge Doro let this go on for too long. He's not adding anything to this trial by way of his questioning.
The alleged incident on November 20th, 2021?
She knew about it, but there's nothing visible on my face.
So because nobody knew about it, nobody was there to see it. What is he saying? It didn't happen because she did not have any physical proof on her body that he assaulted her? And like I said, didn't the state drop that particular charge? So why are we talking about it? Why hasn't Judge Doro stepped in and done anything? Yeah.
Do you know if your roommate, do you know if your roommate had spoken with law enforcement about these alleged incidents
I
from
don't know.
November 20th of 2021 and November 21st of 2021?
I don't know.
What does it matter? The roommate, Corey's not on trial here. What does it matter if she spoke to them or not? What does it matter?
Did she ever tell you yourself that she was interviewed by any law enforcement?
I don't remember.
One second. So what time did you meet up with the alleged defendant on November 20th, 2021?
I don't remember.
Was it morning time? Evening
Afternoon.
time? I didn't hear that.
Afternoon.
See, she's starting to get annoyed. Okay, we got to think of this. Erica is a victim of abuse. Okay. She has been abused by Darrell for 16 years. She knows him probably better than anybody. She knows what ticks him off. Okay. She knows when he's getting ready to become angry. She knows a lot more about him than we do, just based off of their history, right? She walked in confidently, able to stare him in his eyes, answer his questions without missing a beat. He is now bringing up abuse that he knows he inflicted upon her, right? Which is going to be a sensitive topic for her. This is his way of annoying her to submit to him. Okay. He doesn't like the fact that she's strong and confident and able to face him. So he is now going to annoy her to get her to try and submit to him. Okay.
And what were you doing prior to the alleged meeting up with the alleged defendant?
Objection,
Grounds,
asked and answered.
Sustained.
Thank you, Witch Owl.
grounds for the sustain.
Asked and answered.
Another thing that I want to point out
Next
too,
question.
anytime Judge Doro sustains an objection, he always asks for the grounds again, right? This is so he has an opportunity to argue. That's all this is. Okay. So now he wants to annoy her so she can grow frustrated and potentially cross the line. All right. And violate his rights.
please.
When was it answered?
Look how he's staring her down.
So to the best of your recollection, you can't recall why an alleged incident on November 20th of 2021 was reported to never happen.
Objection,
Grounds.
same reasons as the previous objections.
Seems facts not in evidence.
Look at him. Look at him. It is at this point that I would have ended this direct examination. Okay. He is intimidating her with his looks. That is enough. There is nothing else to be said. What else can he ask her? Because all he's doing is reading off of a statement and trying to push her in a corner, force her into a corner so that she can just cower out and submit to him. This is disgusting.
It's characterized as her prior testimony and irrelevant.
I object to that respectfully and
Next
ask for a
question.
legal finding of fact and a legal reconsideration of that ruling, Your Honor.
Denied. Noted for the record. Next question, please.
I'm trying to figure out how something got pulled out of thin air. Interesting. So it would be fair to say that you have a child in common with the alleged defendant. Would that be fair to say?
Yes,
Yeah, is that the only child in common?
yes.
You have any other children?
Objection,
There's
Grounds.
nothing to do with the case. Sorry. I'm
Hold on,
sorry,
there's
Your
been
Honor.
an objection. Not relevant. Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain?
The record speaks for itself. Next question.
What was the record speaking for itself? I didn't hear it.
Not relevant.
How is it not relevant?
Next question, please.
How is it not relevant? The child that you have in common with the alleged defendant, how old is that child?
15,
Do you keep regular contact with that child?
off and on.
Describe what you mean by off and on.
I'll object,
Grounds.
this is not relevant.
Not relevant. Sustained. It's not relevant, sir.
See what I'm telling you? See how upset she's getting? He knows that the subject of her children is a sensitive topic for her. First of all, we all know she had that baby when she was 15 years old, which is very young, and I'm not bashing her. So not only was she a new mom as a teenager, she was in an abusive relationship with no help from him. Okay. She moved to Wisconsin, or so she thought, it was just visiting him, and left her daughter there. Um, and she's admitted wrongdoing for that. So don't come in my comments talking junk about it. It's not necessary. But I'm saying that to say she's already admitted wrongdoing for leaving her babies there. Okay. He knows that the relationship that she has with her children is strained. And so now, instead of focusing on the matter at hand, he's doing everything he can, every little thing that he can to tear down her character. Okay. So he's already tried to prove that she's a liar. Now we're going to move on to her poor parenting skills. Yeah, she has children, but they don't live with her, Your Honor. Look what type of person she is, which has absolutely nothing to do with your poor decision making as it relates to your criminal behavior.
She answered it.
Next question, please.
And the child in common that you have with the alleged defendant, does that child live with you?
No.
Objection.
Grounds?
Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained, not relevant. You don't have to answer that.
Do any of your children live with you?
Objection.
Grounds?
Relevance.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain?
Not relevant.
That goes to credibility, Your Honor. So how is it not relevant?
The objection has been sustained.
What? I'm sorry. Now he's trying to say that she's not a credible witness. A witness that's not credible is one who lies on the stand, or maybe they had a criminal past that is in conflict with the trial. Her not having her children has nothing to do with you running over people and unaliving 6 individuals, with one of them being a child, Mr. Brooks.
For relevancy. I object to that and would like to inform you that I intend to appeal that decision unless you want to give a legal reconsideration of that ruling.
Noted for the record, I direct your attention to 906.16.
Thank you.
And the
Finally, here we
basis for
go.
the objection being sustained is it does not fall within the categories listed. Next question.
Is that lawful law?
Yep.
Next question, please, sir.
I'm getting there. This is lawful law.
Wisconsin State Statute 906.16.
That doesn't answer my question, but okay.
She gave you the case law. What are you talking about?
Where did you meet the alleged defendant?
Reno, Nevada.
How long have you known the alleged defendant?
16 years.
You made reference to meeting in Nevada. Do you recall where you met at in Nevada?
No. I don't remember.
In relation to the alleged incident on November 21st of 2021, would it be fair to say that there's been no contact between you and the alleged defendant?
Not since then, no.
Darrell, let's speed this up. Hit us with what we know is coming, like you told Judge Darrell. You got some pictures. You're trying to say that Erika is a liar and that she contacted you in the jail. So what if she did? What difference does it make at this point? Okay? Even if she did send you some pictures in a letter to see how you doing, what difference does it make? Hmm? I need you to explain to me and in great detail how you feel that this is compromising the trial. Please, sir. Let's get on with it. Can't do this.
That last answer was kind of low. Did you say no?
I said no, not since then.
And that's that on that.
So that would mean, assuming that would mean no contact at all via phone or anything like that.
No.
So my question would be, I don't know if you can see them from here, but do you recognize these pictures?
You need to show those to the state. The bail will take them.
Ah, y'all see Sue Opera's face.
It's not proper procedure, sir.
Oh Lord. Come on with y'all.
I'm gonna object to those being shown as a witness. They have no relevance whatsoever to this trial.
Yes, they do. And I'm
Sustained.
getting to how they have relevance.
They've also never been disclosed to the state before this moment.
Sustained.
Sustain why?
Not relevant.
They are relevant. It creates foundation.
First of all, they're not relevant, and you cannot. Oh Lord. Never mind. It don't even matter. It's just not relevant.
And I can prove that.
I'll take up the issue outside the presence of the jury at the conclusion of this witness, and if need be, bring the witness back in. But next question.
They have not been properly entered into evidence, sir. He felt that he could just bring those pictures onto Erika because Sue Opper reached down in her bag and pulled something out on the fly. I am talking about the video of that music video with the red for escape in the back. Okay, so he feels as though because he didn't have the knowledge that she was going to play the video in its entirety, that he could just walk into court with pictures and just uh bamboozle, if you will, all of us. But that is not the proper way to enter anything into evidence, sir. And so it's improper. And on top of that, it is irrelevant. Please explain to me what that has to do with you jumping on Erica in front of White Rock Elementary School, please.
Question, please.
And these need to be offered into evidence as well.
For what?
You stated that there's been no contact. How would the alleged defendant be? How would the alleged defendant obtain photographs from you if there's been no contact?
Objection.
Grounds.
Suspect, not in.
Grounds.
Sustained.
I love how Wichow is protecting her.
That's not in evidence, not relevant.
How's it not relevant? Photos just don't pop up out of the blue.
Mr. Brooks assumes facts not in evidence,
No,
and
it's
at
facts.
this point,
I got the pictures
conduct
right here.
after
Facts.
the alleged date of violation here is not relevant.
Alleged violation.
You're
For the record.
correct. After the date charged, that the dates that are charged for these allegations, you are absolutely correct.
Thank you. Have you, since the evening of November 21st of 2021, have you attempted to contact the alleged defendant?
Objection,
Grounds,
relevance.
grounds.
I'm going to excuse the jury.
Finally.
I'll rise for the jury.
Now look how he's looking at Erica. Mm, mm, mm. Now, isn't it funny? He was looking through all of those folders for paperwork, but he knew exactly where those pictures were.
Thank you. Be seated.
It's awful funny. Your Honor, I find
Oh,
it.
hold on. All right, sir, I'm going to let you make an offer of proof as to why you believe the photographs and the questioning about contact after the alleged incident is relevant.
It's relevant because these were sent by the witness.
That assumes a fact, not an evidence, but
You
what
want
is,
the letter
hold
too?
on. Tell me the basis you believe there's been communication and why you believe it's relevant to
It's,
her
it's
testimony.
relevant because it was testified to her first time testifying, and then also by was the last guy, Guth, that he was told that the witness was supposed to be so deeply afraid of me and all this type of stuff. So if you're so deeply afraid and worried about somebody and this and that, why would you
Sir,
sneak
do
and have
you want
contact?
to open up the door?
I'm sure there are a lot of things that we will never understand, but this wasn't well thought out between you and your mama because you questioned her about having a child with her. Okay. Both of you guys are now grandparents, right? Her sending pictures, which we know she didn't send them, but him saying her sending pictures has nothing to do with if she's afraid of you or not. It could have just been that she wanted you to see your grandchild. That's it. And y'all don't come down on me. I know she didn't send the pictures. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that there's no relevance, there's no grounds. I can send a picture to someone that I don't like or somebody that I don't particularly get along with. That doesn't mean I'm not fearful of that person anymore. I just sent them a picture. Period.
Or to the other act's evidence of
That's
you
not
use-
opening.
No.
That's not
Hear me
opening the
out.
door.
Hear me out. Oh, yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
These witnesses have been incredibly careful to abide by my rulings. Sometimes in a court of law, when there are pretrial rulings, the testimony of a witness needs to be said in such a way not to run afoul of that. This witness, Detective Guth, I believe Detective Casey and others, Corey Runkle, and even Nicholas Kirby yesterday, this court has all had to stop them. So that
Now, basically, what she's explaining to him with this opening the door, the intimidation charges, the recklessly endangering charge are not relevant to this trial. Those three charges are for the case that we are waiting to start now. And that is why they threw out one of the charges. That was my understanding of it. I could be wrong. However, those three specific charges do not relate to this trial. And that is what she's trying to explain to him. Okay. You can't bring up the fact that she says she's afraid of you because that is a statement that she made when you ran over her earlier in the month. Now, she probably did tell Detective Goose, which in fact she did tell him that she was afraid. But you are talking about something that has nothing to do with this case. And that is what she is trying to discuss with him. And his arrogance won't allow him to shut up and listen before you get yourself in deeper trouble. He does not like being told no. Despite the many attempts, he's outnumbered. He can't do anything about it. The state is going to continue to object to what you're trying to do. And now the judge is letting you know you can't do this. So let's watch this epic meltdown.
They didn't run afoul, or they've stopped themselves so that they didn't run afoul of the court's pretrial ruling on other acts evidence between you and this witness. And I have been very, very careful to make sure that doesn't come in. But if you keep questioning her about whether she's afraid or not, or why she wouldn't have contact or not, you are opening the door to that testimony.
Because remember, the no contact order was placed after he ran over her, not from this parade incident. The no contact order was initiated uh from the incident where he ran over her. This is a separate case. That is what she is explaining to him.
All of my
How
rulings
does-
have
how
been
does-
made to prevent
how
what
does
could be
pictures
seen
run?
as prejudicial evidence. The standard's not prejudicial. The standard's whether it's unfairly prejudicial.
It's
But you
unfairly
can
prejudicial.
open the door
Your
to
Honor,
that,
It's
sir.
unfairly prejudicial that I have a document stating that November 20th never even happened, but yet and still the
Then
witness can get
have
on
you
the
turned
stand
that
and lie on the
document
stand.
over to the state?
Come on, man. Y'all know that's not right.
It is
It-
right. That's how it works. All of your evidence, all of your discovery has to be presented to the prosecution so they can have a fair opportunity to review it and prepare their cross examination of this witness. You can't just pick which filings you want to add when it's convenient for you. He's always trying to one up somebody.
No, that's not right.
Then you need to immediately turn it over to the state right now. It may become relevant, but no one has seen it. When did you receive the document? Hold on. When did you? I'm having you make an offer. When did you receive the document?
Okay, but I just want to stay for the record, Your Honor, that's kind of biased because the state did the same thing yesterday with creating an exhibit right on the fly that didn't even exist that I didn't have.
See,
But
That's
then
not
exactly. That's what I just said. So originally, I remember yesterday on the live, I went through the exhibit list with y'all. They had a photograph originally of the Ford with the license plate visible and him standing in front of it. He argued, okay, that excuse me, there how did they know that it was him because he wasn't facing the camera, right? So Sue Opper made an offer of proof with that video and asked the court to play it in its entirety so it could show his face at multiple angles along with the SUV with the license plate visible. That it was relevant to this case. What he's talking about is not relevant to this case. But again, he has to prove that he's smarter than everybody else. He has to try to one up everybody else. It's not working. It's not working. Okay? He's so upset that again, we have individuals who are going to protect Erica at all costs. The judge is going to make sure that she's protected. The state is going to make sure that she's protected. You are not going to be in a position to badger her and discredit her testimony and diminish her character, and that is pissing him off.
Not true. That's a
No,
misstatement of the
that is
evidence.
true.
No,
She said it herself.
no. Marking an exhibit is not creating an
No,
exhibit.
not marking exhibit. She said
We're
that
not gonna go
essentially.
down a tangent, sir.
All right,
I'm gonna
I'm not gonna
focus
argue
on
with
this
you,
and I'm
but
gonna
it's
give
not
you the
fair.
opportunity
It's
to
not
make
fair.
a record.
It's not
All right.
fair. It's not fair.
When did you receive this document that you claim was sent by this witness?
It's not claimed. It's for a fact.
Sir, it hasn't been established yet. I need to make a
So
record.
do y'all want
I
the
wanna
letter?
see
Y'all
the
want the
letter.
envelope? What?
I want to see the letter.
Okay, so I gotta.
And I wanna
so now
know
I gotta
when you
bring that in.
received
Now I
it.
gotta bring that in. Every time this is what I don't get. Every time I'm presenting something that needs to be made for the record and placed in the evidence, it's a problem. But the state can do it, no problem.
It's not, sir. There are proper procedures, and
Okay,
I want
well,
you to
that
make
was the
a
proper
record.
procedure.
If you don't make a record,
So
then
what?
I can't make a
It
ruling.
threw people off a loop. They weren't ready for it. They scared of it.
Absolutely. Nobody's scared, but yeah, you threw us for a loop because you didn't do it the right way, sir. What part of his personality is this? God.
Oh man,
Mr. Brooks,
come on man, stop.
when you
Stop
are
it.
you aren't
Stop
even
it.
letting
You're a
me
public
ask the
servant, Your Honor.
questions.
I respect your courtroom. I
You
respect you. You're a public servant, though. Your
Mm,
job is
mm-mm.
to be the referee. Is it or is it not? You stated so yourself on record that your job is being the umpire.
Your Honor, can I ask Ms. Patterson please be excused?
Yes, you can be excused. My apologies.
My apologies too, but it needs to be some truth,
Well, what's the
especially
truth?
when we're talking about stuff that didn't even happen, but they're allowed to get on the stand and say that it happened when they know it didn't happen.
So I'm going to make a record about what
This
he's
is
referring
ridiculous,
to
man.
in count 77. Okay.
And what happened to that paper? Because it was on the table. Then when it come back in,
I
it's
need to
nowhere
make
be
a
found.
record of a variety of
So who
things.
took my paper?
And you keep interrupting me repeatedly today. I have shown an abundance of patience this morning. I've warned you repeatedly about being removed from the courtroom. And then every time I try to get into it, you, meaning an explanation and make a record, you interrupt, you attempt to divert everyone from what is being done this very second.
I didn't attempt to do anything.
Yes, you do it repeatedly,
Okay,
sir.
whatever.
So you're doing it once again.
Whatever. Just make your record.
Woo, she had to bite that tongue, baby. I feel you. Because, honey, I couldn't be a judge. Mm-mm. That same day, they would have taken my license. They would have taken my license from me. Okay?
The document that Mr. Brooks wanted to show Detective Guth and this witness was a letter sent from the state of Wisconsin to the court regarding count 77. The state sought to dismiss that count, and they have prosecutorial discretion.
Mm-hmm.
And I granted the request that the charge be dismissed.
Why was the charge dismissed?
And that's, I can't answer. It was dismissed because the request was made, sir. They don't need a reason. There's an abundance.
But why does he need her to tell? He said it never happened, right? He said it never happened. So if they dismissed it, what does it matter? It doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about it. You said it didn't happen. Erika said it happened. We probably will never get a straight answer. We probably will never know. But the prosecution said that it wasn't important enough. It wasn't relevant enough, I should say. And so they petitioned the court to have it dismissed. Judge Darrell said, all right, and we're moving on. What difference does it make?
Of case law about prosecutorial discretion, and they chose not to pursue that. My guess is maybe to simplify things and to keep this tidy. I don't know. You know what? I'll indulge you.
Prosecutorial. You know I'm gonna mess up a word. Okay. The prosecution has the ability to pick and choose what charges they want to use against a defendant, right? The judge has no say so in that. They don't. The prosecution can charge a defendant with whatever they want as long as they have evidence to back it up. I've went over this time and time again. That is why they have those pretrial hearings between both sides. So if the defense says, okay, well, you're charging my client with this. However, we don't see that you have enough evidence to back this claim up. And so there is going to be a motion to dismiss XYZ. The prosecution took it upon themselves to voluntarily dismiss this charge, which they have discretion to do so. And the judge said, okay. The judge cannot come in between that. The judge has no say so in what charges are being brought against a defendant. He doesn't understand that. Why? Because he's not an attorney. Prosecutorial discretion. I'm gonna have to work on that. Y'all can key if you want to. I can't say it.
Attorney Opper, would you like to provide a basis for why the state sought dismissal of that charge prior to the start of this trial?
Yes, Your Honor, because as Ms. Patterson just testified a short while ago, she did not have any visible marks or injuries from that event.
Mhm.
And we did have the photographs of her injuries. We did not want to confuse the record as to whether or not there was a battery that occurred on November 20th.
Here we go.
Your Honor, I object to that. What does the letter read?
You have the letter.
What difference does it make? Again, you would think that it wouldn't be a big deal to him if they said they let it go because they didn't see any injuries on her.
You showed it to me,
I
sir.
try, yeah, and I've been trying to find it ever since I came back in here. And now all of a sudden I can't.
And now
find
you're impugning, though, like somehow you're impugning the integrity of this court,
No, I'm
the
not.
bailiffs of the
Yes, you
state.
are.
You're accusing, frankly,
Did
everyone
I
of
point
moving
the
your
finger?
papers.
Did I point the finger at anyone? Did I say anyone did anything?
Not directly, but indirectly you did,
So
sir.
how can you make the assumption that I'm saying?
Can
that
I
I'm
please
pointing to
make the
someone?
record without
Yes,
you interrupting
yes, you may.
me?
Yes, you may. I
We don't
apologize.
need your
I
permission.
appreciate that, thank you. But you made repeated comments, sir, about I can't find my documents, I don't know what happened, things of that nature. When you came back out, you took multiple minutes before you even asked your first question of Ms. Patterson. And if I need to, I'll have a bailiff put on the record that no one touched your table.
Your Honor, did I say anyone touched my table? I didn't
You
say
implied it, sir.
But did I say that?
You stated it implicitly.
I never asked the bailiffs, hey, did any one of you touch my table? I never said that to them. I just said, I can't find my paper, which is the truth.
And the way that you said it, like,
I didn't point anyone out, though.
And like,
I
well,
don't
that's
think
kind
that's
of in.
Judge Doral, just stop arguing with an idiot, please. You save yourself a lot of stress. Just go with it. You know, he's gonna appeal. That's cool. They'll understand. I promise. Just go with it.
Interesting. I don't have a document that was just on my table. That is what you said.
That's what I said, but I did not point the finger at anyone.
So
I can
you
see
have
if
the
I
letter.
came in, Your Honor, with
You've
all
been
respect,
given.
I can see if I came in and said, hey, one of you moved something off my table, or if I would have directed that towards the state, or if I directed that towards the clerks or something like that, then that would be more of a validity to what you're saying.
I need to continue with the record, sir. It's very apparent to me, sir, that every time, I can't say every time because that would be an absolute, but many times throughout this trial, and especially the last 2 days, when the court makes a ruling that you disagree with, or I want to make a record about some behavior of yours, or a further record about a ruling that that was not in your favor, that you start peppering me with questions or comments, statements. You question me about the law. You ask, is it verified law? It is, from my perspective, a clear attempt to kind of turn us in a direction away from what we're doing, perhaps even to stall and to delay.
I'm sorry
That's
you
my
feel that way.
that I'm making a rule. You're doing it again.
I mean, because it has no validity.
So I am trying to make a record outside the presence of the jury about a line of questioning you want to ask Ms. Patterson. Now, I've reviewed repeatedly up on the bench 90608 and 90616, which are two of the primary ways you can attack credibility. I've referenced one of those previously. 90608 is evidence of character and conduct of a witness. I'm not going to read through it all, but it's limited to character for truthfulness or untruthfulness. It's not specific instances of conduct. It's character evidence, which frankly wouldn't even come from the witness who's testifying. All right. Then there's the statute on bias, 90616. All right. And none of the questions, as I heard them, went to a permissible topic under bias of witnesses. You generally said credibility. You did not give me any further explanation as to why you believed it was relevant to credibility. Now we have you claiming that there's some document that was sent by the witness after the charges were filed that apparently contained photographs. And you can clarify the record momentarily when I'm done, that you believe goes to the credibility of this witness. So I need to ask a few questions about that, sir, to determine whether it has relevance to those issues. Number one, when did you receive this letter?
I received this multiple letters actually over a period of time. It wasn't, I referred to this one because this one had the pictures. But
and why do you believe it was from Ms. Patterson?
To answer your question with clarity.
Thank you. Does it have a date on it? The letter?
No, I didn't bring the letter. I brought the pictures because I thought, from my interpretation, I thought showing the pictures would be okay. How did I get these? So my mind was saying, show the pictures. They didn't come out of thin air.
Okay.
The witness knows that they sent me the pictures. They know that.
Well, again, it assumes facts that aren't here. You're assuming this witness sent it. I don't know. But even if she did, what relevance does it have to her credibility before this jury?
It goes to the credibility because she's put on this facade of being so afraid of someone, but yet still, you know that we're not supposed to have contact, but you still sneaking behind and saying, oh, I wonder how you're doing. And oh, this and this and that. Oh,
I don't think she's ever said she was afraid. I think that was the officers who may have stated that, but I don't believe she ever said that. She specifically said today, when you asked her, why did you, it was either why did you go back or why did you have, I'll look at my notes. And she said, I don't know.
It was why weren't you forthright with all the details?
And she said she didn't know.
That was
No, she said it wasn't that I wasn't forthright. I just didn't tell him everything. And yes, Judge Darrell, he did ask her, why did you meet up with me? And she said she didn't know. She never once got on that stand and said that she was intimidated nor scared of you. She did tell Detective Guth that, but she can't. You just had punched her in the face. She didn't get on the stand and say that.
So again, I'm going to ask you, even if this letter's from her, these pictures are from her, how does it relate to her credibility before the jury?
Who else could these pictures be from?
A plethora of people. Your mama, your bald-headed mama, your friend out in Nevada, maybe your grandma, uh, Moo Moo, Stephanie, Jay Prince, any of them.
I'm going to ask you point blank. Did you get a letter that's signed from her?
I got. What do you mean signed? No
How do you know?
letters.
What's your why do you have a belief that they are from her?
I have multiple letters from her.
You're not answering my question. Why do you believe the letters are from Erika Patterson?
Because
I just thought about something. You know how the jail will open up and inspect all of your mail? Now, I may be reaching, but if there is a no contact order, right? And she allegedly sent this, and I know she didn't, so don't come for me, but it's alleged that she sent this letter to you with pictures. Why would they give you that? And I don't know jail protocol that well yet, but if that is if it's a chance that they knew that there was a no contact order, right, and she was a witness to this crime, in fact, a witness and a victim to the crime. Daryl, you didn't think this out well enough, because if they knew this information and they have the authority to open up and inspect all of your mail, they would not have even given you a letter. And maybe not even pictures, but maybe the pictures, but for damn sure not a letter. So I don't know if you thought this out too well, buddy.
Were sent from Erika Patterson. Why else would I?
Were they signed by her?
What do you mean signed?
Did she write her name on the letter? Was
Are
it the
you
content of the
kidding me?
letter? No, I'm not kidding you. I need to make a record, sir. You're making a statement that these letters are from her and that they're relevant to her credibility.
Your Honor, I'm gonna go out on the limb here.
And I'm asking you why you hold that opinion.
I'm gonna go out on the limb here and assume, which I know is true, you've never been in my position. You've never been in jail.
What does
So
that have to
you've
do with
never
anything?
received a letter from someone writing someone in jail. No one is gonna. When you
You're
say
not
to me,
answering my
when you say
question,
to me,
sir. What's the basis why you believe they're from Miss Patterson? Is there some information in them that only she would know? Did she sign the letters? Is it penmanship that you recognize? Why do you believe they're from her as opposed to somebody else sending you information? Could be your mom, could be, I'm just saying, could be anybody else. You got to answer my question. It's called an offer of proof.
But you still got to understand why this is mind-boggling to me. Like, how I got a child with this woman.
Okay.
Why would I not know her handwriting?
But you have to lay a foundation for these letters, sir. That might be through your own testimony. So that I'm trying to figure out why you believe they're from her, not all this other stuff about I'm in jail and I have a child. I'm trying to I need to know. It's called an offer of proof.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What do you believe? Why do you believe they're from her? I am serious.
Because they're from her.
Okay.
But you're assuming.
Like, how else am I supposed to answer that?
I've given you a few reasons why it would lend to that opinion.
So it has to be put in a legal term.
The bottom line is you need the letter. So if you're going to question her on that, the state absolutely has a right to see the letter. So you need to provide that letter. The bottom line is I'm not going to allow any questioning without having that letter. So the state has the ability to question you about that or question this witness and to look at the veracity of what your claims are here. So I may take an early lunch. If that's in your cell, then you can go get it and bring it. But without that letter, I'm not allowing this line of questioning. Do you have the letter with you in court?
I just said no. How many times I got to say the same thing on record?
Sometimes, sir, I don't hear what you say because you interrupt me so much or you answer quietly. And I'm taking notes and I'm focused on probably a dozen things at the same time.
But if I say something under my breath, everybody seems to hear it. Everybody seems to hear that just fine.
In a quiet courtroom, yes, we can hear it very clearly.
Everybody assumes that it has to be disparaging.
Once again, you're doing this tactic
because
it's
not a tactic. It's facts.
It's facts. To some other reason.
It's facts. Because I find it hard to believe that
I'm going to
all of a sudden nobody hears what I say.
I'm going to let the state make a record of why they believe it's objectionable because I haven't let them do that. I've given you multiple opportunities to tell me why you believe it's.
I didn't get these pictures from nobody else. Why was somebody else?
The record will reflect you have two pictures that you believe were from this witness.
That I know is from.
No, that you believe.
That I know.
All right. I'll ask the state their position on all of this.
My position, Your Honor, is that these pictures, first of all, should not be admissible. One, because of a discovery violation. We've never seen them before. Two, because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erika Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
That's a lie. I object to
Let the
that.
state make their argument without interruption, sir.
That's a lie, though.
three, I believe that these photographs are designed to make a suggestion to the jury that Erika Patterson is a bad mom. I think that that's what the defendant is trying to do. And if we're going to go down that road, then we would be forced to counter that claim. First of all, it doesn't make her an incredible witness, if it's even true. And second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has. He impregnated Erika Patterson when she was a minor in Nevada. And for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2000.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop Zach in his role here. But y'all know my girl Leslie over here. Isn't she looking at him like a proud mom? Zach is the baby of the group. He is the assistant ADA, and he only has 8 years experience. And I am just loving the way that Leslie is looking at him like, boy, you better. Okay. The highlights of the trial for me.
7 to that felony offense and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erika Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
Furthermore,
I object to that.
I'm not
because
done.
that's a lie.
Let him
Because at the end
finish.
of the day,
Let
if
him
we
finish,
gonna open the door
Mr.
on that, no,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record. Since you think you know so much,
Once
so
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can open the
loud,
door on how old she told me
disrespectful,
she was when we met.
interrupting.
We can ask
He's-
that
he
question
is
too. Then
over the
did you
top,
ask that?
animated
Do you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state
No,
finish.
no, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? Let me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back. And unless he brings that letter and he can show it is inadmissible, she will not be questioned. And under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess, 1 hour.
Get your facts straight. So let's open the door on all of it then, so we can get all of it on the record. Since you think you know so much. Did you know she said she was 18 when I met her? Did you know that?
First of all, Zarel, the age of consent is 16 in Nevada. Thank you very much. So she didn't have to be 18. Not that it's not disgusting. I'm not saying that. Don't come for me. I'm not saying that at all. In my eyes, she's still a minor. I'm just saying they love to shoot for the age of 18, like my good sis P said one time on a live I did. So, okay, don't come for me. I am not in support of any minors engaging with adults. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Okay. However, the many a times that I have watched that part, it never gets old and it never will. Darrell went into whatever day this is with the full intent on making Erica look bad, a bad mom, an unfit mom who has no character, no credibility. She is an alcoholic. And despite the fact that I continuously jump on her, she keeps coming back for more. However, it didn't go well for him because we learned some unfavorable things about you, sir, that just sent you over the edge. Wasn't it great? That is the end of that. I got that video out of the way. So I am getting ready to go and eat something so I can come up with a couple of defense strategies for tomorrow's live. I hope you guys are ready for that. I want to thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for engaging with my content. And I hope to see everybody or as many of you as possible tomorrow. We are going to have a good time as we always do. So be ready. The live is at 8:30 tomorrow. And y'all be easy. All right. Peace.